Today, we left Los Angeles in our RV to go on our journey to find nature's heroes. Our first hero of nature on the road we found in Central California. Let's meet Stephen Colon and Gilbert Martinez from the Martinez farm.
My name is Gilbert Martinez, and I'm here, the builder on the property.
I'm Stephen Colon. I'm the farmer of the property. I take care of plant maintenance and everything of farming.
Me and my family moved here originally back in 2006. Purchased half of what we have now. Came with the orchards, came with the well. You know, we've been really lucky. We really scored with the property we landed. My grandmother, she's the one that was behind a lot of the ideas of the self-sustainability behind the property. They grew up with no power, no water, no sewage down in Mexico, so they had nothing even up till about 15 years ago. She brought all that, I call it the native knowledge, you know, because it's all about knowing, you know, how to move dirt, where to move it to, you know, where it's safe to build, understanding the wind, the seasons. You got to spend a couple years in the place that you're at to understand how you're going to be affected by, you know, the rain, snow, sleet, drainage. All these things come into factors, especially when it comes to building. And having that knowledge and having that background to feed off of was, I mean, one of the biggest swords we could ever wielded to have and make this happen. Everything we get here, down from the mulch, comes from the municipal mulch from the county. They come and deliver that. We separate and filter everything out we can, and then that's where he takes over, was with all the growing and making sure that everything we're doing with using these stuff is safe for what we're doing.
I came down here, I met them through chance. This was nothing that was planned out. I came here with an alternative plan and that didn't work out, and through serendipitous ways we kind of stumbled onto each other, and it was family ever since. So as soon as I got the first week of property, I was help building water lines down to the property so roses can get fed water. And then trickled into just more into the family aspect. It came from just helping out as a worker to building a family relationship with all the brothers down to the mother, to the father that was here before. And just maintaining the duties of just the farming aspects, taking care of the animals, taking care of the plants, helping the mother with anything of moving dirt down to filling up pots, to watering, to anything of that nature, while putting in the inputs that I've learned from what I've been doing myself back in New York, and just gradually just trying to put that experience into farm life that I've never had before, because I was a city boy. So coming from Brooklyn down to a big 18-acre farm was a massive culture shock. So down to seeing your first pig get murdered in front of you, to skinning it, to, you know, four-quartering it, to removing the meat, down to all that things just played a part. And then just learning and using the inputs that I've been learning of regenerative agriculture, vermicomposting, composting, and reusing the land to rebuild the land. So for soil fertility, for biodiversity, using all these inputs and given the okay from the farm, from the house, to say this is your land too. You can do with it as you will, and it's been moving and rolling forward ever since.
I almost think it's easier to talk about each other, because I don't think he realized, but it was the science aspect that he brought. And once we came together, realized that he had a lot to offer with the agricultural end of bringing to the farming end to kind of bring it up to speed with the times. And he knew the inside and outs of all the plants, like all the terms, the science, you
very
know.
Very passion driven.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like I didn't go to school for this. I volunteered for like botanical gardens. I learned from my grandmother, who was Brazilian, who lived in Brazil. She basically owned farmland in Brazil with my grandfather. And I kind of just like shadowed her as a child. She was the one picking tomatoes, talking to the plants. And I guess it trickled in from my bloodline. It's just something that I just fell into. And then I just fell in love with it. And that's when it became extremely fun and stressful and everything else that follows suit. But it just opened up a world of like possibilities and experiences that I didn't know was possible until I actually like gave into it. And yeah.
So would you say you're like a soil scientist?
I guess, I mean, I'm a soil lover. I guess I'm a soil enthusiast. Okay, yeah. So yes, I think everything starts from the soil. Everything always starts from below the earth. What you can't see is the most important. So that diversity and those organisms that feed those roots and that system underneath is way more important than what you see above land. So if you see a healthy plant above ground, it means below it is just as beautiful and just as healthy. So it's like, I don't tell people to grow good plants. I say build good soil, because that's where you're gonna get your most out of it. That's where you're gonna get your yield. That's where you're gonna get your beautiful flowers. That's what you're actually gonna get, that regenerative kind of thing. It starts down underneath. I think that's like almost equal to like a human. You start from inside, and then the beauty kind of shows out eventually. So it's like, it kind of trickles in the same way. Get your hands in the dirt.
Dirty. Get your hands dirty.
Like fall in love with the dirt. The dirt isn't a dirty thing. It's more like play with it. It's a playful thing. You got to enjoy it.
It's our job to clean it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get in there, and you should be able to work with what you have. So you find it teaches you a lot about your local environment too, because if you're already living there and you haven't explored every corner of it, getting your hands in the dirt is the best way, because you really get to learn whether your soil's dry, you need to bring in water. If you have too much water, you need to bring in another type of soil to absorb. You know, things to balance, and you start to learn that about your local environment.
Exactly.
And that's the best way to do it is literally just dig in. Like,
it's that healthy balance.
Yeah.
It's that, I tell you, if you want to get started on the smallest level, is grab some seeds and incorporate what makes our world what it is, the mountains and the sea. You incorporate those two together, then you basically have that combination for anything to grow.
If you respect yourself and what you do, belief is what you act out, so let it show in your work.
Yeah.
And it's and that's where what we're trying to bring is like, so that's why we avoid the chemical fertilizers, the
trying
pesticides.
to shift that out the way in the sense of what people kind of technically know what that is, and we're trying to change that dynamic up. And
Yeah, well, we just think you guys are the shit.
Jeez. Well, I appreciate it.
Seeing all of the animals and all of the trees, and it's really magical here.
Thank you.
Really cool.
I love it, because
Appreciate
there was
that.
a lot of that makes it worth it right there.
hearing that.
Yeah,
for
hearing
sure.
that right there.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for taking the time and having us here. And we had
Again.
a blast, and I love bringing my city kid into your farm, and he goes crazy, like pigs and horses, and
It's awesome.
I'm not used to seeing that, so
Yeah.
that was
Good.
so cool. I didn't expect to see so much here. It's big and beautiful, and so cool.
Oh,
You guys
I
are
love
doing
it.
a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We appreciate you
again.
guys.
Appreciate.
Yeah.
Let's go. Ooh. Come on, bud. Let me get a hug.
So much.
Okay, buddy. I'm gonna get one on you, Rich, too, in a second.
Thanks, bud. You guys are awesome. They kept telling me about you guys, and I was like, oh, Hollywood's
Yeah.
coming to the ranch. You guys are awesome.